y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Hey, everybody out there. It's the Negro Rocker Podcast coming at you.
Right is right, wrong is wrong, though. You know what I'm saying?
And I noticed it at first, but I was like, okay, maybe that's just no big deal, whatever.
And I get that part too, but hey, we still call it that part. Take ownership of that shit. Go get help with it. Seek help for that shit, and kind of correct your.
They're politicking, rapping, shooting the breeze, trying to holler at a dame. Hope get something together for the weekend, whatever.
How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
It would be the volume of the conversations, though. It would be, but I'm boisterous. You know what I'm saying? We get up in there and we just start doing us.
Just loud. Niggas just loud. Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? Nigga Rockin' Podcast coming at you. KC Stork, I-70 Connect. We got two of my compadres in the house tonight. 10 meters. One half of the Brothers of Doom, Brothers of Death, Brothers of Terror. The two smartest Negroes that I know. But only half of them are here, so only half is smart. Joe.
I hear you. Damn.
Nah, I'm just playing. What's going on, fellas?
I was smart enough to catch up to what you were saying before you.
I knew you were going, sir.
Yeah.
I said good day, sir.
Even on half a brain.
Half a brain. If I only had a brain. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. So what's going on, y'all?
Yeah, nothing on this side.
Nothing on this side? Nothing at all? No news? No announcements?
No announcements. No. None that no one already knows.
Next week you won't be recording from a different location?
You'll still be here.
You'll still be here.
Record from this location.
Maybe, possibly. Who knows? It changes week to week.
But it starts the 17th, y'all. 17th. I'll be broadcasting from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Going to the land of white women.
Land of all white women. And jealous white men, from what I hear.
I don't know.
So, but yeah, I'll be starting my new gig and everything in Grand Rapids, and then we'll move on from there. We'll move on.
All right. What's going on, Joe?
Man, I'm sitting around the house like Pablo Escobar in his compound.
I see you with that picture on Facebook, dog.
On his self-imposed prison sentence.
You kind of look like Pablo Escobar, too.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
All you need is a cue. That's all you need is a cue.
I know, dog. What? Just like what? No track.
Get blown up like Pablo.
Gotta avoid that. Hey, what you do with no track season, dog? What happens? You just sit around, just think of new ways to torture kids.
I had a summer job that I had done the last couple of years. It fell through. I had another one backing it up. It fell through.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty much, looking for ways to entertain myself.
I feel you.
I got you.
Hopefully,
therefore, I podcast.
I mean, saying the few people, the people. I should stop saying few. I'm sure it picks up week to week. People who listen, man, probably y'all niggas need to podcast more. But people got jobs, so
right,
and children they don't want to go to sleep.
Not me. I have nothing.
I got nothing if I don't. Okay, that's it.
All right.
Okay, and on this side of things, everything's pretty good. Baby's in bed, sleep. Lady in lavender, I think she playing Dig Dug on her cellular device or something. Watching Netflix, who knows? Life is good right now.
Can't
complain. Oh yeah, my daughter, safe travel. She landed up in Nebraska. She's up there in Lincoln. She has a medical internship up there at the university for 4 to 5 weeks, and then she'll be back for a month, and then she leaves me again. Yeah. So that's that.
Oh, shout out to Z.
Shout out to Z, doing big things, making it happen. Oh yeah, and she had 3.9 grade point average for her first year.
Whoa.
Nice.
Good job.
Yes.
Summa cum laude coming up, huh?
Coming.
Okay.
Coming. I like it. But yeah.
So I need to keep this scholarship, huh?
Yeah. Keep it. Hey. Nah, like I told you, dog, when she said what school she was talking about going to, and then I looked it up and saw them prices, I was like, how? I said, yeah, I was like, UMKC got a pretty decent medical program. Why don't we go there?
Right.
But she's definitely, as I talked about before, and we talked about offline, definitely a young woman that has a desire and a goal and is doing everything in her power to achieve it. So shout out to her. All right, man. So here we are, back on the podcast, back into the world, covering the news and the events that catch our eye. And we just get it out the way. Our homeboy, our president, our favorite old grumpy Cheeto Homander in chief, as I call him.
Yeah.
So if you have, what's up?
Hey, Pam. Before we get started, to our listeners out there, this is not an apology. First off, it's about my laughter. I heard, some of the listeners are kind of worried about or kind of thrown off about my laugh.
They said you were scared, though. They didn't say they were worried.
They said they were scared. They were frightened.
Terrified.
So they were terrified about the laughter. Like, it's. I'm not coming to get you. I don't rape little children.
Oh.
I don't.
So wait a minute. That's a very specific, like.
Hey,
so.
no. Hey, I'm just trying. Hey.
I would say I don't rape in general, but you say I don't rape little children, so.
I don't rape in general.
Okay, I didn't know. I just got to check. I had to check.
I don't do any of those things. It's just that I have a really, really throaty laugh.
Throat.
And so, yeah, you're right.
You got a throaty laugh.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna be like, okay.
I don't rape kids. I got a throaty laugh.
See, y'all gonna have me.
And until recently, I still was thinking that R. Kelly. I don't know. It's weird.
Nigga, that might be your definition of a Doug Bowl moment, bro. just so you clear.
I don't rape little kids, but I do have a throaty laugh.
All right. But back to the podcast, man.
This has been a public service announcement.
I will say though, my little boys, they do love some Anthony. So he is as Trick Daddy say, Trick love the kids. Anthony in an appropriate way does love the babies.
Appropriately.
With his throaty laugh.
With his throaty laugh. I don't know. Ellis don't say a lot, but he did say Anthony when he came into the door, so that's all I do know.
Right. All right, back to the podcast.
All right, so to the listeners out there, we sorry. Maybe I don't know. We should have we should get a drop of Frank saying trigger warning, before he laughs. I don't know. Maybe we can get some of that popping off. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, back to our illustrious Homander in Chief. He was talking some big noise about these tariffs on. Well, he's been doing it with China also, but these tariffs on Mexico, if they did not agree to helping out with the enforcement on the border, right? And he made it seem like this is this new thing, but lo and behold, the New York Times put out an article today, which kind of gives a timeline to let you know that Mexico agreed to all this months ago. And it just goes to more of the, for lack of a better word, bullshit that we've been dealing with for the last 2 years and some change when it comes to this man. So I just wanted to put that out there. Just, I know there's people out there who I don't listen to this podcast who are very forgiving of this man, but people out there who are forgiving of this man. And just the continual bullshit that I put up with him being one of my bosses, and that I still believe that we're going to get another 4 years of this bastard.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with you about another 4 years, because I don't see any viable Democratic or independent candidate that is, I think, qualified to take on Trump. I mean, we have some people that are, I should say, qualified.
I think there are several people that are more qualified to take on Trump, but his base, and then a lot of the people who are part of the Democratic Party who don't have the balls to put him on blast. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's what's probably going to get him reelected. But back to the Mexico agreed to this tariff deal like months ago, before he made that announcement, just proves that it's just, to me, it sounds like a bunch of posturing, that 45 is doing. It's basically, kind of like, I would say, tooting his own horn, or even still, just being braggadocious about, things that not only already happened, but, just...
Yep. And so,
just being an asshole, actually.
Yeah. So the centerpiece of Mr. Trump's deal was an expansion of a program to allow asylum seekers to remain in Mexico while their legal cases proceeded. But the arrangement was reached in December in a pair of painstakingly negotiated diplomatic notes that the two countries exchanged. Ms. Nielsen announced the migrant protection protocols during the hearing of the House Judiciary Committee 5 days before Christmas.
So this was 5 days before Christmas.
Yeah, dog.
And he's just now making an announcement. And
he made it. Well, basically, he was like, "Oh, unless they agree to the shit they already agreed to, we're gonna have more tariffs." And then he go, "Oh, okay, no more tariffs because they agreed to the shit they already agreed to." That's what the fuck happened. Oh man, I just hate this dude, man. Anyway, let's get this bad news out. Well, I guess it's not bad news.
It's not really, yeah.
Well, that's just our democracy at work. Love it.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to call it democracy. Update. We've talked about Tyreek Hill a few times here. DA says they're going to be closing the criminal child abuse probe. Mm-hmm. But what some Negroes don't seem to understand is that CPS, Child Protective Services, still has an open investigation.
Right. And because of that, there's going to be some penalties drawn out by Goodell and his camp. While you fans think that, it's over with Tyreek Hill, no, my brother, he's going to get at least 6.
Well, I think the most shocking thing is there are a lot of people who are already saying, well, this proves that he didn't do anything. It just proves that both parents are closing their lips, and there's a 3-year-old child with a broken arm that no one seems to know how it got broken.
Exactly. That's basically what I see, in my opinion. And it's even something, even if he did something to that child, well, I would say it like this. If he did something to that child and, and just try to sweep this under the rug and save his career, he's lesser of a man than what I think he is.
So let's say he didn't do anything to the child. Let's say that he knows that his fiance, girlfriend, wherever they stand now, is the one that broke that child's arm. And he said,
okay. And he's not saying anything about it.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, but I mean, this is your child, dude. I mean, you still less of a man, to me, for not standing up and protecting your child. I know several fathers that, no matter what, child come first. I know one very, very personally, actually, that children come first, man, no matter what. And they do whatever it takes to protect their children and not to cause harm to them,
Right.
And even if you have a fiance, girlfriend, ex-mama, baby mama, or somebody, some trick that you got pregnant on the side, regardless of your situation, I know the people that I know, the fathers that I know, take care of their children to the fullest. They make sure that harm, or they don't cause harm to that child. And if the other parent causes harm, they're either whistleblowing or they're going to handle that situation themselves, regardless of,
Because the thing that's most shocking that stands out the most, we've all said as we cover, as this case closes, opens, closes, develops, mixtapes get dropped, is that no one seems to know anything. And usually, when a child falls or break their arm, or you grab the child, and because children are about to step off of things all the time, and you grab them, and
right.
things that stuff happens. No one's saying that. No one's saying
right.
anything, and that's the part that's most telling, that one of these two, it may have been unintentional, but did something that will make them appear to be guilty of abusing that child, and no one's saying anything. And they're just pointing the finger at each other, and that's the thing that bothers me the most.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that because somebody knows something. Someone knows something. Someone knows what happened. They probably both know what happened, but no one's saying anything, and no one's doing anything about it. And yet you have this child that is in a home that is so volatile. That he has to get his arm broken by one of his parents. And I mean, to me, I don't give a fuck if that was Drew Brees.
Allegedly.
Okay.
We don't want nobody to open no cases on our podcast.
Allegedly.
The crazy thing, though, right? I didn't realize this until today. Rodger Goodell still ain't talked to him about this.
No, damn.
Well, he probably learned from Kareem Hunt. You can't go in there and ask them, because they'll just lie to you in your face.
Right.
Let's just take that. Nah, I ain't kicking her. Oh, that mean you don't take kicking her? Damn.
I'm sorry. Supposed to keep it clean. Darn Negroes. But yeah, but like I said, I'm not really a big Chiefs fan, but I do root for them when they winning. That's right, in fair weather. I don't give a damn if it was Drew Brees and his wife, beating on one of their 19 kids that they got at their house. He would be less of a man if that ever happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm a football fan, but
you still want him on his team?
I have integrity, so I'm still against the whole child abuse thing or whatever. I kind of cringed at what is your boy's name? The one that was suspended for beating his child, giving him a whipping, I should say, not beating him.
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian, yeah. Even AP, I was kind of like, but I understood. He was just disciplining. And that's a different situation. He disciplined his child, even though it was with a switch, and even though some people will look at that as still child abuse. I get it. But from a person that came up from that upbringing, I also get why he did it too. Yeah, not saying it was right, but what I'm saying is I knew where he was coming from when he did it, because I came from that same upbringing. And I know we have laws out there today that protect children even further than what we were protecting when we came up. But I still get, his situation is different than what Tyreek Hill's situation is. A child's arm was broken. Now, for me growing up, none of the neighborhood or my parents ever broken a bone in our body. Yeah, we got beat, with a switch, or I remember getting beat with an extension cord, but it wasn't to the point where I passed out. I should have passed out.
I was beat with an extension cord, and I still condone it, and I still would never approve of that.
Right.
Because you don't pass out, don't you?
No. Now, see, if it was me rearing a child, no, I don't condone ever getting beat with a switch, or condoning ever getting beat the way I was beat when I was growing up. I don't condone it because I know the potential for damage for a child. I realize that,
Right.
In some households, I won't say it's in every household. I'll say in some households, but
I mean, it's still a human being that you're beating. So people think that
exactly, children, and it also falls back to the time of slavery as well, too. But getting back to disciplining child in my household, what was different was that the amount of love and admiration that was in our household outweighed the discipline. That's what I'm saying. My parents showed their love for their kids. For us growing up, my parents showed us more love than actual discipline. So discipline was.
But that's weird to say discipline, because the way we use discipline is weird, because a beating is not discipline.
Yeah, that's true. I would say that. Okay, so I'll say it specifically. I had more love and more good times and more good things happen far more than getting beat, getting a whipping. Or any type of.
I hear what you're saying. But it's that thing. Like, if I my upbringing with my mom and some of the beatings with extension cords and being punched and shit like that. Yeah, she did more as far as love and loving us. But you change the variable of making that a husband to his wife and say, well, yeah, I beat her, but I love her more than I beat her. We would. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. Because it's a child, it's like, oh yeah, that's just discipline.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I see where you get.
So a husband, I'm like, I'm trying to teach her how to cook. I'm trying to discipline her, make her right. She won't get right, so I put my hands on her. But if it's an adult to an adult, it's like, oh, that ain't cool. But with a child, it's like, oh, that's just discipline. What you gotta do? Get them little niggas right. And now, once again, we're not saying Tyreek Hill did that. Obviously, this conversation took a different course, so we'll just once again put it out there.
Went on another tangent. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But like I said, as far as
actually, he did punch her in the stomach when she was pregnant. Anyway, so never mind.
But I thought that was cowardice of him for doing such. And I also think that if he did break this child's arm, or if he knows that his wife did it and not saying anything, then that's also cowardice, in my opinion, cowardice of him for not stepping in and trying to protect this child at all costs.
Right, but what if he says she was just disciplining him and I didn't think it was a big deal?
But breaking a child's arm, though, dog, that is a big deal.
It can happen. I mean, if my mother used to just basically throw us into a room with our underwear on, and fucking, it was basically like Gladiator Training Academy, and she just had extension cord, and we ran around the room while she beat us.
Damn.
So I could very easily have jumped on. We had a bunk bed. I could have jumped on the bunk bed to avoid being hit and fell off and broke my arm. While in the act, as she would call it, being disciplined. Then what?
I'm still say it's wrong. I hear
what you're saying. I'm saying, but like, I think, and I know what people mean when they say it, because that's how we were raised and that's how it was fed to us. This is discipline. But I mean, the word means to teach. What are we learning except to avoid being hit?
Right. I mean, but also, I mean, my stance on ass whippings right now is, I'm still against them because, it's that whole bring back, slavery mentality that, and not saying that, that's what we have in our minds when we do discipline our children or whatever like that, but it has that whole implication of, how the slaves were beat by their masters back in, during that time. But as far as disciplining your children, there are alternative ways to put fear into your child's heart,
but
without putting your hands on.
But that's dangerous too. For just fear.
I get that.
Fear
too,
isn't teaching. I'm just scared of you, and once you're gone, I'm going to do what the hell you want me to. Rather than once you're gone, I'm going to be a child, I'm going to be a teenager, I'm going to be a young person, but for the most part, I'm still going to select to do the right thing because you taught me. I just don't have fear of you. Because once the thing that I fear is gone, then what?
But see, I think the definition of fear here means to be afraid of, and that's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is the definition of fear is basically how the Bible is supposed to, and I know you're not religious, Stork, but...
No, I'm an atheist, just far from not religious.
Yeah.
Let's be open.
But the definition that the Bible is actually teaching people is respect, not fear as I'm afraid of you, but fear as in respect.
But you introduced the Bible, but it is the fear of hell, right? The fear of damnation unless I do the right thing.
No, but that's the other fear of hell and damnation and everything. But the Bible also say fear your parents, which means, to me, is respect your parents. Above all, not be afraid of your parents.
Fear and respect have two different definitions.
They are.
I'm not going to agree with you on that part. And when you're starting to get,
it does say it in the Bible.
I know it says honor.
Yeah.
It does say honor as well, but it also has fear in there as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I read the Bible, or I should say was forced to read it. So I'll let y'all two debate that.
It's in there. Yeah, it's in there. That's what I was taught.
Is that what you were taught, or is that what you read?
Both.
Okay. You said that's what I was taught. So sometimes I know people are taught things that don't actually appear there.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
So yeah, but even with that though, it's still like, I'm not going to debate what's in there, what's not in there, but fear and respect are two different definitions. True. They don't mean the same thing. So you can't say that when I say fear, I mean fear as in the way of respect, because if Ada was to marry me one day, I would want her to respect me, not fear me. But you can't use those.
Not be afraid of you, but to respect you and honor you as
right. But
a wife is supposed to. Just like a husband is supposed to.
I know, as a person that's in love is supposed to. I don't know, but
right.
But you can't. But you use fear and respect interchangeably.
Sun Tzu will tell you that the fear lasts longer.
Yeah, he will. But he was also trying to get niggas right as far as on that battlefield.
Yeah.
He was also out there chopping off heads.
Okay. That's real. See.
I mean, no. I mean, hey, yeah. But the fear lasts longer, but it's not a respect thing.
No, it's not a respect thing. That's a I'm afraid of you thing.
Right, but so
don't fuck with this. I mean, don't mess with this guy.
Right. So I'm going back to what you were saying, where you're using fear and respect interchangeably.
Okay, well,
that's a dangerous thing.
I won't use the word fear then. I'll use the word respect. How's that?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
That's what, because basically that's what I'm getting at is basically kids, go out there and respect your parents. Okay, at all costs. Right. And parents, stop beating your kids. All it does is beget violence. It just make them. Not necessarily all of it. All the households are that way, but I'm just saying that it's the potential is there to, continuation of, violent relationships between, as the kids grows up, because that's what they see and that's what they know, and that's what they will practice. Not saying that all of them will do this, but I'm just saying that has that potential for it to happen. So that's my stance on the whole disciplining and everything like that as well. So
you've been awful quiet, Joe. What's going on, man? You
Joe's just listening to me ramble. He got an opinion, so I don't say it, Joe.
I think there's multiple ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with disciplining kids through the occasional spanking. And when you say beating, I don't know. I'm not out here trying to hit people with extension cords.
I'm not talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about Micah. Yeah, I had them welts on my back at Smith Hill Middle School. He was like, "Damn, what happened to you, nigga?" Like, "Hey, don't cross Brenda."
Yes,
that's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
All I said was good morning, Mama.
Nah, I mean, I just feel like it's a tool that I'm not willing to take off the table, but I don't want it to be my first tool either.
And I think it's for a lot of parents. That's I should say a lot. There are many. A lot. So that's a loaded word. There are parents out there where that is not only is it their first tool, that's their only tool.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
And I think that's a big problem because, especially with children, they just see that he or she who is strongest is the one who wins the fucking fight, or who wins the argument or the debate, or that's the one that's right.
Yeah, I don't think that's something you should do with regularity, because in practicality, they build immunity to it.
Indeed.
They get to the point where I'll take this beat and nothing will change, and I'll go about my business.
Well, that's what I would. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying I agree with that because that's what I meant by all that violence and everything that they see or that they had when growing up. That's all they know. That's just gonna breed more violence as they are, as they're adults, as the children are adults or whatever, because that's all they see.
Yeah. So, as for me and mine, I try to cultivate an environment of respect and understanding, and it's something that's needs to constantly be worked on. But I will let them know that, hey, if you continue to go down this path, I do believe that if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. But I don't think that you need to do that stuff on a daily basis. I don't need to be done every week. I don't think it needs to be done every month. And I'm at a point with my oldest where I try not to do it at all. But I still haven't let her know that. I still let her know that, that she got too foul. And she'll be 12 here soon, so... as she gets older and older, I'm going to stray further and further away from that, hoping that the lessons that we have talked about, so what I'm saying is, instead of a whooping, or even when there is a whooping, there needs to be a stern talking to. Right. And understanding talking to, and treat them like adults, and let them understand that, hey, this is what's going on, I'm disappointed. These are my expectations. What can we do to make this better?
Right.
And, moving more and more towards that, especially as they're able to think more and more like an adult and understand, cause and effect.
Okay.
Consequences to actions. That type of thing. So.
Let me ask you a question real quick. And, this is just hypothetical. I don't know what you do in your house or anything like that. But when you tell your daughters that you're very disappointed in them, and you have that stern look on their face, how is that reaction a little bit more hurtful to them than a spanking? Is that action, a little, because what I find out, and the reason why I ask this is because what I find out is when a parent shows and says that they are very disappointed in whatever the child has done, it hurts them, it cuts them deeper than a whipping would.
I think that's like a two-way street though, because I got the back end of what Joe was saying, but they are young people, young adults, young humans, so that thing of building that respect, and if your children, they love you, they respect you, and the children want to, if they respect you, should be the big thing, and they want to make the parent proud, they want to make the one person that loves them, that provides for them, that gives them whatever they need for the most part. And with my twins, recently they got into some altercation with a bus driver, and they were being totally disrespectful and totally just going along with the crowd, and I was so upset, and they could just tell I was so angry because I had never talked to them that way, but at the same point in time they had never disappointed me in such a way, when I'm just I can't believe this man is coming to work every day, taking you to wherever, and you disrespect him in such a way. And I talked to him about this and that, and just how dare you behave in such a way? Me and your mother do too much. We give you too much for you to behave this way. I don't give a fuck about what your friends do, what they say, what their parents say, and basically just I will come in and I will take everything. I'll take everything that I've given to you. I will leave you with the bare minimum because that's what you have earned today.
Right.
And and it's partly they were the fear. I guess there's a fear of you're going to take away things, but I think there's also that thing of even as teenagers, they still want that approval, they still want that love, they still want that admiration from their parents, and when they see that if they respect you. Yeah. I worked with young teenagers back when I was at Credington who didn't respect their parents. Their parents would come in there and be like, "You disappoint me." They'd be like, "Yeah, you let 3 men rape me. Who are you?" Fuck you. I'm just saying that's an extreme. That's extreme. We talked about extremes, but that's an extreme. But yeah, it definitely cuts. It definitely can cut. But like Joe says though that goes to years and years and years of talking to them, setting an expectation, letting them know when they do well, and on the other hand, letting them know when they haven't done so well, and explaining ways, and not just saying you messed up, I'm disappointed, but explaining specifically what you did and what my expectation was, and next time this needs to happen.
Right. Okay. See. Yeah.
I want, and you can go ahead, Joe. I'm not answering for you. My bad.
That's the process.
Right.
I try to do that with my kids. I do it with my athletes on my team and in my classroom, students in my classroom. And, in the classroom and the team, you're not able to put your hands on them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And so you have to resort to other methods, and sometimes that might mean the most extreme punishment I have, which is removing them from the classroom and referring them for discipline from a higher authority.
Right.
But if I want to have respect in my classroom, I'm going to have to deal with those situations and not move them on to somebody else. So I try to again use the same type of tools I use with my kids, which is building trust, being reliable, being myself, accountable, and that type of thing. But then at the same time, communicating to them that, hey, these are the expectations. This is unacceptable. And so this is the process that we need to do to make sure that we don't end up at the worst possible place. If that's in the classroom, that's a referral. If that's on the team, that might be dismissal from the team. If that's at home, that might be, I can't dismiss you from the team at home. Right. And I'm not going to refer you to, there's no higher authority for me to refer you to. So the highest punishment I can give is probably corporal punishment at home.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, but I try to, again, in all three of those scenarios, avoid the nuclear option. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if it gets to that point, mm-hmm. and to me, I felt like it's effective to have multiple strategies to approach a problem. I feel like I said, I don't want to take the nuclear option off the table. I don't want to take the conference card off the table. I don't want to take the kicking you off the team off the table. I don't want to take the spanking off the table. I don't want to use it if I can avoid it at all.
Right.
But they need to know that if they continue on a certain path, that is a possibility. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Call that fear, call that respect, call that what you want. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they need to understand that in this world, there are people who are not going to be as patient with you as I am.
Right.
There are people in this world, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody, hey, if I don't whoop you, somebody else might.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm not willing to let you know, hey, that's, you say that's abuse or whatever. That I'm tell you what, you keep popping off the mouth of the wrong person, somebody gonna beat your ass. It might be a police officer. You might not make it home.
Right.
Yeah, but then,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I do agree to a certain extent, but then there's also something to be said, the fact that my dad loved me and once in a while he hit me, so if someone else loves me and they hit me and once in a while, that's okay too. There's something to be said.
And as I've said, as they get older, I'm trying to wean them off.
You kind of relinquish some of that.
I feel. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you said fear, and don't get me wrong, there is always a small dose of fear, because once again, there's the fear of me disappointing dad or mom, but also, as we said, that shouldn't be the only thing. Right. That shouldn't be the first thing I fear. You should be thinking of the fear of losing the respect of my parent.
Well, not only just that, but the fear of losing their trust. I mean, dissolving the trust between you and your parents. That's probably, I think, the biggest punishment that any kid could ever have is, that dissolution of trust between you and your parents.
And we get, and then of course this is an extreme example. What happened?
You got that torture chair.
Oh yeah,
torture rack going on.
That nigga on the rack, dog.
He made it worse.
You know what? I'm off the damn podcast.
That nigga said WD-40 ain't getting none of my money.
He out here laughing all deep-throatedly and got the torture chair. They probably got some kids back there right now. He got tied up.
Damn kids down here, man.
He's like, hey, Joe, he taking notes. So don't beat the kids. I should just make him.
He's like, don't beat him. I said, can I tie him up?
Hey, he gonna open that closet and be like, I don't respect y'all anymore. I'm so disappointed. It's like, no, Mr. Anthony, no, we don't want to be disappointed. Hey, it's gonna be like what Star Wars, Master Anakin, we scared.
I promise I won't do it anymore.
Master Anthony, we scared. That nigga pull that motherfucking lightsaber out. Yep. I'm about to take care of all that right now.
Oh, shit. Come on.
No more fear.
Oh damn! This shit. It'd be like the kids under the stairs and shit.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. But definitely. Breaking kids' arms, hitting them over the head, beating them. Definitely. There would be no extension cord hidden in the Winston household. I guarantee you that. So yeah, little hand pop here and there when people are trying to reach onto the stove or some shit like that. Yes, and then followed by explaining or telling them why I did that.
That's an important component.
Yeah, but
important component.
And I think we pointed out. I think a lot of people they just hit and it's just like go sit down. And the kids like, I got hit. I don't know why I got hit. You know, so yeah. So yep. Well, hell, man. I think we covered a lot of. I'm not gonna say bad news. I mean, that's a good talk though. I mean, that's gonna be a talk that goes on for eternity. And hopefully, more and more people will use the will be beating their children as we go as the world grows. I guess I don't know. Hopefully, there'll be less babies with broken arms. With either parent doesn't understand how or why the kid's arm is broken.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Don't break your kids' arms, people.
Yeah, so no good segue for this, man. But let's get into some hold on, let me see where we at as far as time. Okay. 45 minutes? Okay, boom. Let's get into some sports talk, man. Y'all been watching the finals? I know me and Anthony watched the game last night with the Lady Lavender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I picked it out yesterday.
Yeah.
I was flipping back and forth between that and the track meet.
Like, I've seen the Raptors play before, dog, but I don't know, is it a mixture of, as a collective, and they got that boy, Leonard on there. They're that good. I think it's a perfect storm of they're pretty good, and the Raptors, like, they really rolling on like a brand new shiny dub, and the rest is like three spares.
I mean, to me, and what I posted yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, this Toronto team looks like they have perfected what Cleveland was trying to do. Right. Mm-hmm. They have the point forward who can run the show, who can score, can facilitate, that type of thing. And I'm telling you, man, and I like Kawhi when he was in San Antonio. I used to hate San Antonio, but I love watching Kawhi play. You used to hate San Antonio? I don't know, man. They just bored me. You know what I'm saying?
They were the fundamental assassins, dog.
But then I kind of started to feel it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when Kawhi was there. I was like, I kind of liked them towards the end of their run. You know how they kind of go like that.
It's like people used to hate Tim Duncan. I'm like, I like Tim Duncan though, dog. He just
it's just I like a bad boy, man. I like somebody who's gonna stir it up, man. He's just too vanilla.
I mean, I feel that like the personality. I like the personality of it all, but like watching him play. I like to watch him play, dog. Like, it's someone who. Even though I was like, I'm only 6'3", but you know, had a little strength to me, so I was forced to play in the paint sometimes, and I had no outside shot. There we go. But so it was like I used to like you know, I like watching big men play, dog. And it's like good footwork, nice little mid range jump shot. You know, just I like it, dog. The big fundamentals, dog.
I appreciate them. He just didn't spark the imagination, man.
That is true. No, I get it. No, he did not.
But Kawhi is very. I think somebody ended up calling him the medium fundamental. There is nothing flashy to his game, but he plays downhill. Right. I don't think he had a single turnover yesterday, man. That's amazing.
Bruh, he is like the Matrix movies when Neo finally figured out the code and figured out that he can't die. It's just he's just fighting Agent Smith in like with one hand bored. Like, okay, I guess we're gonna do this again. Or you gonna shoot me with bullets? And let me just stop all that shit. And then I'm gonna jump back into the code.
He ain't gonna do the unnecessary move. He gonna make the fundamental textbook. The essential dribble that he needs to make.
Yes.
And put his body in position to protect the ball. Mm-hmm. Draw the defender, kick it out. If the defender doesn't, show.
And not say a word. Say a word. Like
he's pretty calm through it. Who was that? He was just pretty calm through the whole, his exchange.
Yeah, D Wade was talking about like I don't know how he sound. They was playing a clip from him like a couple years ago talking about I couldn't tell you what his voice sounded like. The boy don't talk.
No.
He just come in and work.
Yeah. And I can definitely, as a coach, I can definitely appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
For sure.
But what I was saying more so is, let's say he is the LeBron of that team. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking that.
And so, he may not have every asset that LeBron has, but he has maybe better than 75% of the assets that he has. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so, but what they have done is they surrounded him with shooters, which they have definitely tried to do. They tried to do in Cleveland, but I think they've been more successful here with Lowry and Green.
Right.
And Green was on the championship teams in San Antonio, so he know how to deal with the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And Lowry has been an all-star. And then, but I think what they've done that is better than Cleveland was ever able to do is put some dynamic big men. The front court of Gasol and Siakam, man, that looked way better than anything Cleveland tried to put out there. You know what I'm saying? So to me, they have taken the formula that Cleveland put forward, but perfected it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They put better personnel in, people who know they role better, who accept their role better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you got, the big, and I know that's sometimes, especially later on, a big knocker on LeBron is he tends to shy away from guarding the premier player on another team. Kawhi don't do that. He don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I forget, somebody on Twitter, they had, and people watch the game, you watch the game, you don't need analogies, but for like people who aren't big NBA fans, I forget, they basically said like Kawhi is like a great defense that holds the other team to like field goals while their offense warms up in the second half. So that your offense is doing 3 and out and not scoring, but you hold this other prolific offense to field goals, 3 points here and there. Because and they were talking about in the game like how Toronto just wasn't hitting those shots that first half, but you wouldn't be able to tell. They was only down what 8, and then all the shots they missed in the first half. Kawhi kept it close for the most. Kawhi and Ibaka kept it close for the most part that first half, and then everybody started dropping them threes in that second half, and that was a wrap. Even Gasol fat ass out there hitting threes, nigga. What you gonna do about that?
and then I've decided. I feel like Siakam has the best basketball name in the history of the game.
I saw that. That is pretty good, dog. That do sound like when that ball just hit nothing but nets.
Nothing but net, like Siakam. Siakam.
Hey, dog, we used to play with this old head, dog. If we ever get named on the podcast, dog, we would play this old head out of Lee Summit, dog. He had this sky hook, dog, that he would throw up from anywhere, and it was just buckets, dog. And he would throw it up, and before it even hit the net, he'd be like, bloosh. Hey, dog, you be wanting to fight his old ass because you couldn't do nothing about it. And he was about like 6 foot, and so he like, dog, he was so old school, dog. He had both knees. He had the Patrick Ewing neoprene knee joints, and he had like the bad back. I'm an old man with the bad back neoprene like waist wrap around his stomach. And he be out there give you 10 good points, dog. Like 3 or 4 games, and he just watch the rest of the time, dog. But he be out there, bloosh. Niggas be ready to fight. Oh yeah, dog. Watching these highlights though, dog. They just made some good plays. Hey, dog. Yeah. I had a good question, dog. Is Danny Green out there playing the construction teams? I couldn't see his shoes, dog. I kept. He got them tan Nikes on, dog. I'm like, playing in them Timberlands, dog. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Raptors up 3-1, and they heading to Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Toronto.
Yeah.
You gotta
if they
love
don't get KD back, it is going to be
a wrap.
Curtains.
No, you gotta love Leonard though, dog. They asked that man, "What do you think a championship will mean for Toronto?" My man said, "I don't know. You gotta ask somebody in the street." He's so good, dog. The memes that have been popping up too. Have you seen the iRobot or I Am Robot? It's iRobot, right? The one with Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see the
I
meme?
Am Legend and iRobot. Yeah.
You seen the meme? Somebody put up the also. They basically made Curry, Will Smith. They put the fat head on him, and they made my man Kawhi, dog. They made him one of them robots. Just that scene where Will was running through the warehouse for the robots. Mm-hmm. Dog, they had Kawhi. Dog, they had Kawhi snatch up Curry and threw him to the wall. Dog, I gotta find it. Put in the chat group. Dog, I was laughing. I watched it like 5 times. Dog, I said they should never get niggas the internet. Dog,
dude, you gotta share that way.
Al Gore didn't risk his presidency for you niggas to do this with his internet.
Right.
Oh man, my bad. Woo. But yeah. So definitely, I know people out there are not an NBA fan, and it's just some prima donna. Yeah, you're missing some good basketball, basketball out there. So, speaking of the finals, hey, so did y'all see what's his name? Mark Stevens, who is a Golden State Warriors investor. You see him push that man Kyle Lowry? Was that game 3?
That's right, yeah, game 3.
Kyle Lowry dove for a loose ball. And my man took it upon himself to push Kyle Lowry as he was trying to get up. I'm trying to find this video here. They talking about it on SportsCenter, but they're not being about it. Let me see. Fast forward. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. That should be.
They acted right away.
Hold on. Here we go. Rewind that back. Y'all can see that.
Could be said it's more appropriate than the way LeBron put it. So they did, and they acted right away. I do think it's
man, get your fat ass off the screen. People trying to see Kyle Lowry get pushed.
Kyle Lowry, and I don't think.
Okay, there we go.
Anything could be said that's more appropriate than the way LeBron put it. So they did, and they acted right away.
They covered it up, though. There you go.
I know that some people want him never to be.
I mean, it's a little bitty push, but he said something to him, too.
That was taken into account, but he also was fined harsher than a normal fan would have been because he got the fine as well because he is attached to the organization. I definitely think that the NBA has led the league.
Anyway, we talked about it before, though, but the entitlement. And this dude, I guess he's an investor, but at that point in time, he was playing the role of a fan. The entitlement of fans when it comes to just, not NBA, but these professional, just athletes in general. At work, we talked about, what was that, last year, last football season, with Seattle. One of the fans was saying something crazy to one of these defensive linemen. He tried to climb into the stands, and that fan's eyes got big real quick. Of course, the world famous Malice in the Palace. I mean, but it's just the ridiculousness of fans, and when they the entitlement or empowerment they seem to have when it comes to these athletes is just mind-blowing. And then when that athlete walks up on them and you realize, oh, you are 6'9", 290 pounds. My bad.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me.
Well, I don't know. I mean, from what I saw, it looks like, that whole entitlement thing, where he is an investment of the Golden State Warriors, and Lowry used to play for the Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. Did Lowry used to play for the Warriors or whatever? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I'll look it up. Keep on talking.
Keep talking.
But anyway,
I thought he did.
But anyway, and I mean, I don't know. To me, it looked like he didn't really shove him really hard or anything like that. It looked like he was
on though.
Might have looked like kind of like he pushed him up, even though I have no, there's no excuse for, his actions or whatever.
Nah, that dude, he was like a seat and a half away. That dude pushed him while he wasn't looking, and then when old boy stood up, he bumped his gum to say something.
Oh, okay. So
anyway, it wasn't no. Oh, anyway, you were by.
He should have just kept his hands to himself. Really, to tell you the truth. If someone is falling or anything like that, or even though you're rooting for your team to win and they're behind or whatever the case may be, be a fan, enjoy the game, let the players play, and and then you wouldn't be in situations like that, $500,000 lighter. And you can't go to no more Warrior games or any NBA games a whole year. So
to answer that question, though, Kyle Lowry came out for Memphis.
There we go, Memphis.
Went to Houston, and then kind of blew up with Toronto.
Okay.
So he had no affiliation with them. I don't understand why this man decides to push Lowry. Maybe because his team was losing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a sense of entitlement. Hey, if I pay for these tickets or I own part of the team, I can do what I want. And you are part of the help. It's the you're the entertainment here. So,
but then once again though, totally different situation. If Lowry stand up and get that man a 2-piece, then we talking about these players out of control.
Of course we are.
The league need to get a crackdown on these players. Adam Silver needs to get a crackdown on the league.
And Donald Trump is always talking, these niggas are out of control. Here we go again.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
But even with that Malice in the Palace, I remember having debates with people about well, those players are wrong. I'm like, what about them people throwing shit on them as they walk into the locker room? That's all right. Well, that's different. They make all this, and that's nothing. And that's where they usually get you. You get them at. Well, they make all that money. They should just let it go. Fuck you mean?
No. Shit, disrespect is just disrespect, man. I mean, you just gonna sit up there and push the guy. God damn.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
That's just disrespect, man.
It's just crazy, man. Just like we said, the entitlement a lot of these fans feel when it comes to athletics in general.
Well, I'm glad he's $500,000 lighter.
No, and I'm glad. I mean, and I hate that it has to be said, but I'm glad that Lowry handled it the way he did. Because if he turns around and hits that man, like I said, it's a totally different conversation.
That was it. Yeah.
So, but as always, Gotta turn the other eye. Turn the other cheek. My bad.
The other cheek, not eye. You know.
You got. If you turn your cheek, you turn your eye, nigga. Shut up.
Yeah, but I don't think the man was slapping the eye. I think he was slapping on the cheek.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We're moving right along, but also, not only are investors going crazy, so are fans of people who are in attendance of the game. So did y'all catch? Well, and also Joe being the on-spot investigator, the reporter that he is, peeped that too. I didn't realize that until you pointed it out. But Beyonce, Jay-Z at the game, Golden State Warriors owners, his wife, kind of like, hey, leans over, and it's loud, leans over and asks, Jay-Z, and I'm guessing Beyonce, they want something to drink. Story goes that Jay-Z says that he wants a vodka and soda or tonic or whatever, and of course it's loud. It's a damn NBA Finals game. She can't hear him, so she leans over. And I get it. I'm also the kind of the same way. When someone leans over me, I might kind of lean back a little bit, look a certain way, especially if I'm trying to enjoy something in front of me, which might be an NBA Finals game. So Beyonce's there. She looks a certain way. Yada, yada, yada. The story goes on. And then the BeyHive is activated. I want to play. Man, this ain't the video.
Is that the bees?
No, that ain't the video.
Killer bees.
That's the killer bee. They probably gonna attack our podcast. I don't know.
Hey, look. Any kind of news is good news, man. So if the BeyHive attack, that means the BeyHive listening.
That's right.
But I mean, there's something to be said that Beyonce ain't told the BeyHive to be cool.
I don't know. I think she kind of liked the attention, I guess it brings.
There's that too. But I mean, that's just crazy though, man. Just from a small snippet of a video where it's obvious that Jay-Z is engaging this woman, and I mean, this picture here that I show on the screen I'm showing, you can tell she's like reaching in her purse. I don't know what she's reaching for. They probably ain't got paid for nothing there. The guy owns the Warriors. But yeah, man. It's just crazy.
It's a normal human interaction.
Yeah.
When you double date, I guess, to a finals game. You know what I'm saying? And they had the two women had an interaction too, where I guess she was helping Beyonce get something out of her hair. I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard about that too.
And the Hive wasn't happy about that. Why you touching a black woman here?
Yeah, I heard all of that. Twitter, man, just sometimes I love Twitter, but sometimes it just shows the worst. I guess social media.
Social media in general does.
Because then some woman wrote like some long think piece about how Beyonce probably felt less than in that moment because this woman's leaning over her to talk to her husband and all this. I'm like, come on, man. What about the time when she was talking to Beyonce? What are we talking about, man?
They missed that whole
y'all doing too much.
See,
I just feel like it's the NBA Finals and we spending too much time talking about the motherfuckers in the crowd. Like we spent time last week talking about Drake. Like why?
Right.
And then we spent this week talking about Beyonce and Jay, and I'm like.
But the reason why, because her fans are sending death threats to the Warriors owner, dog, from this interaction.
For this lady asking them what y'all want to drink.
Hold on, here's the video. Hold on.
Hey, I'm buying.
I'm trying to see if I can find Jay-Z doing his 2-hand wave though.
That's what I'm about to say.
As Joe pointed out,
we should be talking about.
Here you go. There it is. I see it.
I'm about to say we shouldn't be talking about these people in the stands, But as I say that, nigga Jay-Z waved with two hands.
Hold on, dog. You see this, dog? He's so happy, dog.
And it wasn't even like a wave. It was like a scrunchie. Like a that shit
I mean, she does look kind of annoyed. I see it.
Nah,
She looks a little annoyed.
She did
you in my space, but look at this little. Hold up, fuck all that shit. Look at this head. Look at this wave.
No. Look at Beyonce though. Look at this block out about to come. Look out right there. Block out. Boom. Watch out, bitch.
Yeah. No, hold up. Watch the way.
He looks so high,
how you
nigga.
doing?
Come on, dog.
Long time no see.
Nah, we gotta start doing like different cover art for the show. This would be the cover art for this show, dog. This nigga doing this 2-hand wave, dog.
Dog. Why?
It's just and then she got like a normal wave, but he got
hold on though. Who's he waving at?
I don't know.
Cause he's courtside.
Probably the other Warriors owner across the way that be smacking Kyle Lowry, right?
Is this right before he fucking mushed Kyle Lowry?
Right. Hi. Oh my gosh! It's been so long.
Lorenz State will be saying, Jay, man, you acting real bitch right now.
Look at this, dog. Look at these responses, though, dog.
You go 2-hand wave right now?
Yeah, man.
Hold on, though.
My thing.
They're bringing up old shit. Well, Beyonce was kind of smiling when
LeBron James was over there.
James chat with him, dog. Somebody said she should have kept that same energy.
Yeah. But I mean, it would probably wasn't no energy to be had. She probably was a normal ass interaction, and she probably wouldn't think nothing about it till the BeyHive came out with it. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody say y'all see the low key nudge at the end of the clip, dog. Oh man, I hate everybody, dog. Look at this, dog. They talking about body language, dog. I'm turning to my husband.
Yeah. That's all she doing.
Hold on, we talk about body language. Jay ain't bothered by none of this shit. He on the phone.
Probably texting Rihanna.
He probably playing Dig Dug, dog.
Too soon, baby pants.
He probably playing Fruit Ninja.
You know, Clash of Clans.
Classic Clans, dog.
Classic
Clans.
Nah, that's Fortnite, man.
Dog. Speaking of that, dog. Since we go on tangents anyway. Did I tell y'all I was gonna try to create a expansion pack for Clash of Clans?
Oh no.
Call it Clash of the Ku Klux Klan. You can have like Grand Wizards.
Hey! My first clan when I joined was fucking Wu-Tang Clan.
So you saying I can make it happen though? Like you can have like sharecroppers, like runaway slaves, coon dogs.
Then they clan versus clan.
Clan versus Clash of the Ku Klux Klan.
Wu-Tang Clan versus Ku Klux Klan. They go, let it begin.
Let it begin. Oh shit.
I'm in for that. I'm all over that. I'm in for that.
Nah, I don't.
It's a karate chops.
I pitched it on when I was at work. I said to somebody, they was like, I don't. It was Jordy. He was like, I don't know if I should laugh or just walk away. Oh man, I hate everybody.
Nigga,
oh my
they hate
God,
you.
dog. Okay, I gotta get out of these comments. Exactly. It's just disrespectful to lean over the wife to talk to the husband only. Never mind if the wife is freaking Beyonce. I mean, you can't tell me the girl couldn't see that Bey wasn't okay with what she was doing. I mean, I felt irritation from here.
Go sit down somewhere.
Burn yourself in effigy.
This right here, Sam Can. Good for you. Jay-Z says vodka and soda to her because they were getting drinks. The poor woman says vodka and soda. Do you want lime? And now she's getting death. She got death threats. Great job, Internet. That pretty much sums up social media. All right, enough of that. Let's move on. So kind of loosely related. We didn't talk about it last episode. Ooh. Shit. I know you said you had not watched the show in its entirety, 10 meters, but the Red Table Talk with Ayesha Curry, which was about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, they had Negroes in their feelings.
Yeah.
I found
real upset. Yeah.
I found a 1:08 clip. So I'm going to play that if y'all don't mind.
To have more compassion and more understanding.
Something that really bothers me and, like, honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, yeah, like, there are all these women, like, throwing themselves. But me, like, the past 10 years, like, I don't have any of that. Like, I have zero, this sounds weird, but, like, male attention. And so then, like, I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not even looking. But I'm gonna tell you something else too. When your radar's turned off, because I dealt with that for years too. Like, and I was young, like you.
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh my
not
God.
fair.
I mean,
because I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that, like, someone's looking.
But when your radar's turned off, right? You're beautiful. Don't ever think for 1 minute that it ain't some men out there looking at you like I wish. Honestly. And I'm gonna tell you who knows that more than anybody.
And I want to ask a question there. All of you made the decision not to try.
Okay. You hear that? So do we burn her at the stake, or what happens? I mean, according to ninjas out there in the world, we're supposed to burn her at the stake.
No, I mean, she.
I'm happy to see.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I think that's a natural situation. I mean, she has to be bombarded. Y'all remember that? I remember there was this old thirsty wench the first time they went to the finals. That was sitting in the stands.
That white lady? That white lady?
Yeah. No, it was a black lady.
She was light skinned, real light skinned. My bad.
She was fucking the shit out of Steph.
Yeah, she was wearing the least. Trying to do the most.
Succubus ass
Succubus. But I think the problem is that because like I said, Damon, my brother, we had a friend, we have a chat group, which is the three of us, and he was saying like he heard a clip, and that's the thing, people have heard like different clips, and he heard this clip on 103 with Shay, whatever, and then I'll do in the morning. And they basically just played the clip where she said, I want male attention, or I wish I had male attention, without none of the other context. Right. And I think that's dangerous. And like I'm like, and he's like, man, I don't need to hear nothing else. I wish my wife would say this, would say that. I'm like, dog, you need to listen to the whole show because you're sounding willfully ignorant right now, my nigga.
Right. And sometimes I mean, to elaborate a little bit, women sometimes are looking for that attention. They're not necessarily.
I want to say women, humans.
I think.
Okay, we can go there. Well, yeah, because I mean,
everybody wants to be wanted or desired in some way.
Yeah, they're just looking for that extra attention. They don't mean anything by it, and they don't mean that they are looking out to go, pursue that attention.
But she even specifically said, I don't. Yeah. That's why I try to tell my homeboy, his name is Homeboy, she even specifically said in that clip, I said, if you listen to another 30 seconds of the clip or go back another 30 seconds, you will hear her specifically say, I don't want it. It's just nice to know
that, that someone's looking at her. Right. I mean, you know what? And to me, that's nothing wrong because that's not even being flirtatious. All that is just saying that, you're being admired. Everyone wants to be admired, Right. Everybody wants to be looked upon and saying, oh, I still got it, or I think I look good. It's just something that builds one's self-esteem. To show that, oh, I'm admired by someone else, or that makes me feel good about myself. And instead, you have social media. That's why I hate social media, and I'm usually never on it. Playing this as, oh, I would like to have this attention because I want.
My homeboy went as far as say, she's like out there wanting and begging for dick, and I'm like, yeah, nigga, where'd you get that from?
The hell with y'all, man. Because that's what I hear.
But I think
when I looked at that clip, that's what I heard was, it would be nice to have someone look at me, just to know that someone's out there, looking at me. Not to say I'm going to be pursued.
But I think, though, what's much important, too, is also the preface to all that, too, is what she said, that here is my husband. Here's a man. People forget, they've been together since high school.
Since I was
15, yeah.
Yeah. So here's a man that I have known when nobody wanted him. Not even colleges to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? When nobody wanted him, to now the world wants him. And here I am. I'm just his wife. You know what I'm saying? So you can tell she's like, and even if you watch the whole show, she talks about telling him that he's slacking or lacking in certain areas in their relationship, and talking about that. So you can if you watch the whole episode, it paints a whole picture of someone who just wants to make sure they're wanted and desired in their relationship above all things.
Right.
But people don't want to watch the whole show. They just want to
hear that certain part and then make their judgment on that. I'm like, you know what? This is what social media is. It's just to put a spin on, it's media in general.
But then even more important, who wants to be with someone no one wants?
True. No.
I mean, you that's worded poorly. But it's worded poorly, but you don't desire someone because the world desires them, but you also think that what you have is the best thing in the world. So why wouldn't someone else in the world want what you have?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree.
So I think niggas is just silly. They live in their own bubbles, and they believe that when their loved ones. Because a lot of the pushback I heard was from Negroes. So,
of course.
Yeah. Male. When I say Negroes, male Negroes.
Yeah.
So I don't get what people want. I don't get what people want or thought or heard. But I just heard a woman saying,
"Yeah,
hey, I just want to make sure that my husband come home at night, and I want to make sure that I'm still attractive."
That's it.
Yeah. She wants some validation. That's all. That's all. Yeah. We all want that.
Of course.
So. Anything? Anyone else?
I saved my piece.
Yeah. Steph ain't loving her right, man.
Yeah.
But you bring up Steph though, but and I thought it was funny, cause my friend, he was talking about, that just points out the issues in their marriage, and I'm like, no, not really.
Nah.
I said you say that because like I said in our text group, I said you say that because it would have been an issue in your marriage if your wife would have said that. But Steph came out 2 days later and had like a fucking 15-minute video and then put something on Instagram saying I fully support her and what she said and all this other stuff. And true, to a certain degree, that's what he's supposed to do, being his husband, what he should do, being her husband. But he didn't have to go that far, as far as he did. And once again, like I told my friend, who am I to question a very successful, lucrative couple who seem to be very happy and been together for damn near, how old is he now? 30-something?
I think he's like early 30s.
Yeah, half his life, Val. Yeah.
Yes, half his life. They've been together and going strong. So how am I to question the way they go about doing their things?
Right, man.
It works for them.
I mean, she's been put in a very unique situation, man, where, and she said that somebody had basically attention seeker, gold digger of some sort, had gotten to the car Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically was trying to get at Steph with her in the car. And she had to tell her, yo, step off. And the woman said, yo, you know what you signed up for. And like you said, she signed up for this at 15. She ain't signed up for this, you know what I'm saying, at 25.
Well, she was dating this dude at Davidson. She didn't think he would be this.
She was dating this dude in high school, wasn't she?
I don't, no. I'm saying, but even when he went to college.
Yeah, who knew he was going to do this? I mean, you know,
when he got
his dad was an NBA player, but, you know, he didn't. Who knew he was going to do this?
No, when he got drafted, no one knew this. They thought his brother was going to be better than him. His brother went to do.
Yeah, so I mean, she been put in a situation where she gets tested on a regular basis.
Yep.
And
a lot of people just don't like her. I mean, if you're on Twitter, you see a lot of people just don't fuck with her. For real.
I do think she inserted herself in that first playoff run.
With the whole they not. I mean, I feel you.
And so, you know, we don't know who Clay's wife is.
Is he married?
I don't know.
I don't think he is. No, Clay ain't married. Clay be he be bouncing them in and out, dog.
He might very well do that. He might be on that.
Nah, I do know that. Clay, I do know Clay ain't married.
I don't know Kawhi's love life. I tell you.
Nigga, don't nobody know what Kawhi.
LeBron's.
Hey,
LeBron's wife been his wife the same situation since high school. And she stays out the limelight for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
And so I think she inserted herself.
So
she made the little Chef Curry video.
Hold on, dog. Right. Hold on. You telling her to shut up and cook?
Nah, I ain't telling her to shut up and cook. I'm saying the only reason we know about her is because of her husband.
No, I agree. And she kind of went away after that first run.
Tried to, but I mean, she inserted herself, and she's here on Red Table Talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, that. I think that's different than what she did with the playoff run. I think that's a little different.
Well, I think she's taking a step back, but at the same time, and so what I'm saying to you, and what I was really trying to get to is her mindset was, you know, I could understand that if you feel like you're in the shadow of somebody else, you're not getting your own happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supporting this person, and they doing excellent. That's good. But what about you and your hopes and your dreams and your self-fulfillment? Are you gonna be fulfilled by being this person's, you know, shadow? Yeah. And raising their kids, and then when the kids go off to school and they're grown, what do you have left? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I think Steph's mom is kind of dealing with that because she's dealing with Del Curry as her husband, and she's still trying to deal with her issues after 30 years of marriage to him. You know what I'm saying? And she's dealt with a lot of same things because he was an NBA player as well. Of course. And so, you know, I mean, I think they've been put in a unique situation that not everybody has to deal with, and it's not even the same as every NBA wife, because a lot of these NBA wives are getting married at a point where this person's already in the NBA, and we understand what that's going to entail. Yep. Whereas this person was a high school sweetheart. Yeah. And at the beginning, you know, probably knew that this was a phenomenal high school basketball player.
Yeah, but not this.
But you don't know this guy's going to be a top. Because I would say all time, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I would say because with LeBron's wife, I think she got a glimpse into it a lot earlier.
Probably.
He was in high school on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
He was high school. Yeah.
So I mean, it ain't to discount. So I think maybe she gets that teaching, but then you can also say the same thing that Steph Curry's parents could have kind of gave her some insight to how to handle things a little bit better too. Saying that, like you said, right. But then Dale Curry, he came up at a time when social media and the 24-hour news cycle wasn't a thing.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I was watching the show. Dale's wife, and I think that's exactly what she said. She wanted to be known as her own person, and she made it a point to be, as she said, rebellious, and have her own little things, which she has tried to do. But at the end of the day, 30 years later, she's still Dale's wife. And that's how I just refer to her, because I don't know her by name.
True. Yeah, but
as bad as that is,
I don't know if it's bad though, because it's like I know Dale Curry because he plays in the sport that I love. If he was just some old nigga that was fucking dropping off 15 points at the pickup runs every Sunday, I wouldn't know that nigga's name either.
Yeah.
Hey, this old nigga come here and be dropping niggas off. Like, that's all I know. You know? So
right.
I get what you're saying. It's I don't think it's disrespectful on our end, but I definitely can see on their end how it's like, you know, I'm just this person's wife. You know, I have no name. I have no identity, you know. So I definitely can feel that. For sure.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think in trying to form that identity, and, you know, my wife does that too. She'll come home and tell me about some encounter about who made an advance at her at work and that type of thing. And, I don't sweat it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm sure I think we all enjoy knowing that we're desired.
Yeah, right. For sure. For sure.
And so if she's not feeling it, you know, especially in proportion to what he's getting, because I'm sure he's getting bombarded with all kinds of offers, and she's not getting nearly, you know, that. I think that could definitely be upsetting.
But I also think Jada Pinkett Smith made a good point though too. Like if you're in a good, strong, committed relationship, a lot of times you're not even seeing that. You're not looking for it. And this is something else that my homeboy took the wrong way. They're like, you're not even looking. He took it as me like, oh, they want her. You ain't looking. You need to go out there and look. I'm like, no. Once again, nigga, watch the entire show. But anyway,
well, you know, Jada had to deal with that too. Shit, she got Will Smith.
Yeah.
Will Smith get the panties thrown at him like probably on a regular basis.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. But I think when she was talking to her, it was like, I'm sure there are men out there looking, there are men out there staring, but you're not looking for it.
Right.
Your eyes ain't open to it, to a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, me and Ida be out somewhere, and she be like, oh, you see that woman look at you? I'm like, who? I'm fucking trying to figure out which brand of pasta we gonna get tonight to eat. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? So, you know, and vice versa, you know. I see somebody, you know, she'll, you know, wear a little dress, something. Like, oh, you see that guy peep me? I don't know. What are you talking about? Like, I don't know. Let's carry on. Let's keep walking.
All right. Right.
So I don't know. I just think it really, well, this particular instance got overblown, and I think it's just. But I think I forgot about that. What you brought up, the whole thing what she did with the first championship run. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Because Riley was up on the mic.
Yeah.
I'm glad they took her out the press conferences.
Yeah.
And they put the new one up there.
They put I mean, she was cute though. I mean, the first time it was cute. After that, they should have just stopped.
They need to stop. So.
Hey, but you real light skinned niggas get away with a lot though.
Well, you know,
you light skinned niggas with good hair get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, passing motherfuckers.
Bunch of Al B. Sure looking motherfuckers.
We gotta get something out the deal.
You kind of more like a Christopher Williams kind of looking dude. Am I dreaming?
They go that deep throated laugh.
Hey, them kids in the closet crying. They know what's about to happen next, dog. They're like, please don't let the podcast in. It is curtains for us.
Oh shit.
Oh my God, we are really laughing about children being afraid. That's great. We did talk about fear earlier though, so yeah. Bring it all one big circle. Bring it all back. Circle. All right, man. But I think we have covered what we have claimed to cover.
Awesome.
You didn't have anything to add? Talk about?
No.
I'll take your silence to mean no.
No. I think this is a good point to end everything and say thank y'all for listening to us rant on some of the subjects and have our little say and our little tangents and thank y'all for supporting our podcast.
I'm just gonna start saying it like every week until the election comes. Don't believe what these robots and trolls on Twitter or Facebook tell you. Get your ass out there and vote. I'm start saying it because we can't. Trump gonna destroy the world.
Yeah.
Go out there and vote for Brad Jordan.
Scarface?
Face mob.
Face mob.
Hey, I fucking Mr. Scarface was walking down the block.
Mr. Scarface ain't that nigga to be fucking with.
Trying to take his rocks. Oh, sorry.
Well, you know he running for city council.
I did not know that. Down in Houston?
What?
Yeah, he running for city council down in Houston, man.
Shit.
Hey, I got honest people down in Houston. I gotta tell her to get on their family WhatsApp and tell them to go out and vote. Brad Jordan.
Face mob. Straight
Oh yeah, and good stuff, dude. I see you on WhatsApp now. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I saw the face there smiling. I was like, look at him. Proud of him.
Well, yeah, I got onto it for the daughter who got back from France. So
just in time. Welcome back.
Just in time for her to come back.
Hey,
from France.
you should have sent her a message while she was upstairs. Just to, hey, I'm on.
I'm on. I got it.
I did it for you. I did it.
You're late.
But yeah, get out and vote. I forgot to talk about it earlier, but we can close out with this. Trump and his administration, they trying to change the definition of what is toxic waste. Therefore, they can save money on cleanup. Or hazardous waste. They're changing the different levels. Had they not watched Chernobyl, dog? They need to watch that.
Yes.
Watch that.
Well, just about to say that.
5 hours of your life. Yeah. Save the world. Anyway, yeah, this the goofiness, man. Anyway, man, thank you, brothers, for your time. I ain't got nothing else. About to try to get like 3 hours of sleep before the babies wake up.
Straight up.
Anyway, man, yeah, so that's it. That's all. 10 meters, Joe Jeff, KC Store, God 70 Connect. We out.